I just want a Sonic the Hedgehog plushie. Let's go. Me growing up, you could say I was a bit of a gamer. And when my stepdad moved in with my mom, he brought with him his original Xbox. I had 3 games: Lego Star Wars, Sonic Heroes, Shadow the Hedgehog. These 3 games formed the basis of my personality for probably the majority of my life. And my experience with Sonic the Hedgehog predates the majority of my friendships. The only friend who I think I had when I started playing Sonic games was Don, and Don was 1 year old, so I can't talk to him about Sonic games. My love for Sonic was always kind of hidden away growing up. And some of these reasons I never talked to anybody about it was Sonic has always kind of had like a social stigma. And so it was just something that I never really projected about myself. Now that I'm an adult, that's way different, dude. I love Sonic. And lucky for me, I've noticed something. Now that the Sonic movies are coming out, now that Shadow Generations is coming out, and Sonic is kind of seeming to peek back into a golden age, is Sonic cool? Hello champions, my name is Guy, welcome back to my channel. Like I said, I entered the Sonic franchise in the early 2000s with Sonic Heroes, Shadow, and the Sonic X cartoons. For being a lifelong Sonic fan, I've never really gone back further than those games. But lucky for me, for Christmas, my sister and her boyfriend got me a DVD copy of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, Robotnik Family Values. This is a collection of 4 episodes of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, Mama Robotnik's Birthday, Robotnik Jr., Sonic the Matchmaker, and Mama Robotnik Returns. Now, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog was the very first TV or movie media that had ever come out of the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. So I thought it would be neat to compare this to the 3rd Sonic movie that just came out and is finally out on streaming. So to prepare, I decided to announce that I would be live streaming, watching this, and invited all of my subscribers to come watch Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog with me on stream. So I started the stream and we watched the Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon for all of 5 minutes, and then it got taken down for copyright violation.
No! My stream's been banned. How could this have happened?
Fair enough. That's on me. So we spent the rest of the stream just playing Minecraft.
No, that bird is fucking with me too immediately.
Yep. This is Maria. I started a new hardcore world. If you want to go watch it, you can watch it on the gaming channel. Speaking of gaming, we're also restarting the Jolly Jazz Cabbage, the gaming channel I have with me, Don, and my friend Forrest. Also going to be in the description. So after I finished my Minecraft stream, I just went ahead and I watched it on my own time. Hello champions, I've returned, and this time, in my jammies. To go through one at a time, Mama Robotnik's birthday. Dr. Robotnik, his mother, breaks out of
the Mobius home for really bizarre mothers.
And she comes to find Dr. Robotnik for her birthday. Sonic is messing up plans using his incredible wit, not speed. He likes to pull pranks. He's pranking these guys up the wazoo.
I've got a plan. Oh, I'm all aflutter with excitement.
Those two need to kiss.
At that moment, Mama Robotnik sees that he is a failure, and she is so mean to him.
You no good, Nick! You idiot, Nick!
It's no wonder Dr. Robotnik ends up the way he does. This is his mom? Dude, do you need a hug? Can I do anything for you? She decides to take over the Robotnik family business because she's like, I can kill Sonic where you failed. She captures Tails at this mysterious, creepy little mansion, and she lures Sonic there.
Hurry, Sonic, before it's too late. But it already is.
Sonic frees Tails and the whole fence goes electric.
What are we gonna do?
Tails can fly. I don't know why he doesn't just carry Sonic out. They defeat Mama Robotnik. They defeat Mr. Robotnik, Dr. Robotnik. Sorry, put respect on the name.
Oh, please help my fuzzy wuzzies.
They send Mama Robotnik back to the mental hospital / jail / old folks home.
See you around, nuts.
Next up, we got Robotnik Jr. Dr. Robotnik, all of his robots are just continuously letting him down. So he decides, you know what? I'm gonna build a robot that's just like me. He's gonna be my son, and he calls him Robotnik Jr. Robotnik's other robots get jealous, and they try to kill Robotnik Jr. But Robotnik Jr. is saved by none other than Sonic T. Hedgehog, and Robotnik Jr. is like, wow, people can be kind? Yeah, that's so much cooler than being evil. I'm gonna be kind. There's like a laser. They foil Robotnik's plans and they leave. And Robotnik Jr. goes out to find his destiny on his own. Episode 3, Sonic the Matchmaker. This is where shit gets weird. This episode Kind of freaky. First of all, I'm introduced to Breezy. Breezy was already introduced in previous episodes, I'm assuming. She is a robot who was made to be attractive to Sonic. So, you know, she has a hedgehog face but the body of a human woman. Sonic likes human women, I guess. Oh. Sonic 06, I guess. She's still obviously infatuated with Sonic. Robotnik Jr. comes back and he's like, yo, I'm in love with her. Keep in mind, I know they're both robots. Body of a human adult woman. Body of a what? 7-year-old? This episode feels a little bit weird, I'm not gonna lie. Sonic kind of oblivious to the whole thing, so Tails is like, you know what? You can save my life because she likes heroes. So Tails pretends to be in danger so that Robotnik Jr. can save him. Sonic's just too dang fast though, and Sonic saves Tails before Robotnik Jr. can. Tails lets Sonic in on the plan and Sonic's like, oh, okay, I'll help you bone my girl. She's totally not interested in Robotnik Jr. at all this whole time, until that she learns he is interested in her when Tails finally tells her. I love this kid now. Keep in mind, child. I hope everything works out for them. I hope they live a happy and wonderful life together.
There's also an entire subplot I forgot to mention where Dr. Robotnik is trying to build himself a robot wife.
She's got really big hair!
He wants Breezy and Robotnik Jr.'s heads so that he can figure out why they betrayed him, because he wants to make sure his robot wife doesn't betray him and that she stays subservient, and it's kind of icky.
I need more ice in my eggnog.
Is that better?
My pillow needs fluffing. Ah!
Is Robotnicky nice and comfy?
This man did not want a wife. This man wanted a maid that he could have sex with.
But he forgets to make her waterproof, even though his other robots are waterproof. So then she gets water, short circuits, and turns on him.
Last but not least, Mama Robotnik returns. She breaks out of the mental hospital / prison / old folks home again and goes to find Dr. Robotnik. This time, sans mustache. What are you talking about? All right. Where'd her mustache go? Did they take it from her in prison? Is this a fake Mama Robotnik? Where's her mustache? I think that people are too big of babies. Too big of babies to think that, oh, maybe a woman can have a mustache. Mama Robotnik with a mustache was too progressive. She's a woman. Give Mama Robotnik her mustache. She's a Robotnik, damn it. Tails is geeked out. Very similar plot to the first one. Robotnik fails at his plans. His mama comes in and is like, you're a failure of a son and I hate you. Takes over the family business, promises the other robots, it's like, you guys will be like children to me. Treats them like shit. This is the weird one. She legally adopts Sonic?
I don't believe it. Somebody wants to adopt me?
The decision of this court is final.
I own you.
And then the inspector comes to inspect the home and ensure that everything's okay. Is that how it works? I was always under the impression that if you are to adopt a child, the inspection happens before you can adopt the child, not after you adopt the child. Am I wrong? Am I wrong about that? Also, can you just like adopt a random child off the streets? Where's the legal route here? I don't think she has any legal right to Sonic, and as far as I know, Sonic isn't a part of any orphanage system. She kidnaps Tails as collateral to make Sonic like obey, behave, whatever. Sonic, of course, maliciously complies because the law is super important. The moral of this episode is how important the law is.
The laws are there for a reason, little pal. You may not agree with them, but you gotta obey them.
Dude, the law allowed you to get kidnapped legally by somebody who wants you dead. Why is the moral here that the law should always be followed and is always just? Is it that the law always wins in the end? Shouldn't you be looking at the fact that the laws allowed you to get into that position in the first place? The laws in Mobius are clearly corrupt, and they allowed you to get adopted by your enemy. Shouldn't we be looking into that? No? Obey the law! Of course, Sonic wins in the end. The home inspector is like, wow, this home is not fit for a child. You have kidnapped foxes in your basement and are torturing them. Send Sonic back to, I guess, the fucking fields. My overall review of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog Robotnik Family Values, like, I had fun, but to be 100% honest with you, by the time I was in the 4th episode, was kind of ready for it to be over. And that's no hate. If you grew up with the cartoon and you absolutely love the cartoon, all the more power to you. But is it cool? No. I wouldn't say it was cool. It was a quintessential kids show. It had the hijinks, the hilarity, the goofs, the gaffes, but I've watched better kids shows. I've watched better kids shows that were from the 90s when this show came out. I would say Sonic in this instance was not cool. But now, let's cut forward to the year of our Lord, 2024/2025. Sonic 3 comes out end of December. I get all dressed up in my Shadow the Hedgehog inspired outfit, and I go see Sonic 3. I just knew I had to share it with my friends. And lucky for me, I have the coolest goddamn friends in the world. Saturday, March 1st. What are you doing March 1st? I know. Sonic Night? No. Sonic Day. Whoopah! And on March 1st, we partied. I got a whole host of Chaos Emeralds. You want a Chaos Emerald? You better work for it. There were games, there were contests, there were drinks, and there was all 3 Sonic movies back to back to back. Person who got all the emeralds at the end got the Master Emerald drink. Not a single one of them is a Sonic fan, but all of them are willing to come to a Sonic the Hedgehog themed party, and they're committed to the bit. I have the best friends in the entire world. I don't know what to say. The movie starts with my boy Shadow the Hedgehog. He's locked in a containment facility by Gun, the guardian units of nations, who locked him away 50 years ago when a mysterious accident happened. Shadow's having a couple of little flashbacks back to his past. Eggman's logo appears on the screens in the gun base, and all of the security shuts down. He punches out, he kicks a bunch of guards' butts, and he escapes Prison Island. Best name for any island ever. It's Sonic's birthday now, so he and his friends are having a little race to celebrate. Little does he know the race is actually a diversion so that they can set up the surprise while he's distracted running through the woods. Sonic finds them and they party for a little bit before Tom takes him off to Sonic's old house and gives him a little heart-to-heart.
I still miss her. You think Longclaw would be proud of me?
I know she would, pal. Because even though you lost her at such a young age, you didn't let your pain change who you are. In here.
I don't know what I'd do without you. I'd probably be a totally different hedgehog.
They have a great time when all of a sudden a gun helicopter shows up and they're like, "Excuse me, aliens," she said with stank. "We need your help to take down this other alien." And they're like, "I guess we got nothing better to do." So they get in the helicopter and they go to freaking Tokyo. They jump out and they confront Shadow the Hedgehog. They all get their butts beat by this man, and Sonic runs off, chasing him on a motorcycle chase where he has a gun. Sonic, of course, gets his butt kicked because he left his team, and Shadow escapes. The 3 of them meet Commander Olive Garden at a Chow Garden restaurant where he explains Shadow's backstory. He was found in a meteor and he had ultimate chaos energy potential within him. So scientists tried to harness it to usher in a new age for humanity. But after an accident, the project leader was arrested and Commander Olive Garden had Shadow put into stasis because they didn't know what else to do with him. Immediately after that, Eggman's drones attack. But wait, isn't Eggman dead? Commander Olive Garden is killed. And right before he dies, he gives them a key, one of 2 keys.
To the most powerful weapon Gun has ever built.
And they give chase after a new mysterious figure on a motorcycle who turns out to be Agent Stone, Eggman's henchman.
Please, join me in the crowd.
He leads them to Dr. Robotnik, who is in the depths of his depression. What brings him back into the game, somebody's using his technology and taking credit for it. Oh, no, 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 no. Dr. Robotnik is a prideful man, so he suits up and he goes with them to try to figure out who's using the technology. We then cut to Shadow, where he is exploring the ruins of the science facility where he was raised. He finds a pair of roller skates and begins having a flashback back to a young girl named Maria wearing those skates. Maria was the granddaughter of the lead scientist of Project Shadow. Maria was the first person who wasn't afraid of Shadow, and so her and Shadow became fast friends. We get a montage of them hanging out and having a very sibling relationship. Like, these two are best friends, these two are close. And as they're watching a movie called Beware the Alien Freak, Shadow realizes that he is the alien freak. So Maria takes him up topside out of the base and they gaze upon the stars.
My grandfather says it can take hundreds of years for the light of a star to reach Earth. And by the time we see it, the star might not even exist anymore.
A light shines, even though the star is gone.
Yeah, it does.
The light shines, even though the star is gone.
The way the scientists look at me, I can tell they're afraid. Like I'm the horrible thing from that movie we watched. I don't know what I am.
You're my friend, and you can do or be anything you want. Not because of your powers, but because of who you are in here.
We cut back to the present, where Shadow, finishing up his exploration of the space, confronts the lead scientist. Then Eggman, Stone, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles all arrive at the base. And in this gun base, they find Shadow the Hedgehog working alongside Gerald Robotnik? Gerald Robotnik is Dr. Ivo Robotnik's grandfather. Eggman's insecurities immediately play out. His whole thing has been about the fact that he didn't have a family, nobody loved him. Eggman's motivations in like the games and in the movies is literally pretty much just attention. That's why he puts his face on everything. That's why he wants to build these theme parks that are, you know, they're evil. That's why he does all this dastardly shit, because it just gets as many eyes on him as possible. He doesn't want to destroy the world, he wants to rule it so that everybody has to love him because he never got love as a child. He immediately trusts his grandfather, who has been locked away for 50 years. He's like, this is literally the attention that I needed. You are now my male father figure. I'm going to do whatever you say. Can I relate to that? Totally not. So he betrays Sonic and friends. Sonic and friends get all tied up. Shadow takes the key.
This is one of 2 keys required to launch the Eclipse cannon. In exchange for my freedom, I gave Gun the most powerful weapon mankind has ever seen, capable of delivering a precision strike anywhere on Earth. Our first target, Gun headquarters.
Gun took everything from us, and now we are going to take everything from them.
And they're about to get evaporated by a black hole. They escape it by going through a thing. They get Tom and Maddie's help. They all start to build a plan to break into a gun base to get the second key before Shadow and the Robotniks get there first. Dr. Robotniks do their iconic dance to get through the lasers.
Cause you woke up in the morning with initiative to move, so I make it harder. Don't hold back. If you think about it, so many people do be cool and look smarter.
They get through the lasers. Sonic and friends then break into gun base, and they get there at the same time. And they are about to get to the key when all of a sudden the racist comes in, activates the variable gravity, and glues the Robotniks to the floor and lifts Sonic in the air. Everyone else arrives, and a huge fight breaks out. Knuckles breaks the gravity, and things are going wacky mode. Sonic and friends are all glued to the ground. Sonic's friends almost get killed by rebar, but Sonic, seeing his friends in danger, gathers the strength to save them. Rockwell gets away with the key, and Tom, disguised as Commander Walters, gets the key from her. And on their escape, Shadow, seeing Commander Olive Garden's face, kills him. Sonic sees this and he goes over and he rushes to save Tom's life. Shadow looks over to them and he sees a mirror of his own past, Maria, on the ground. Shadow then delivers the key to the Eggmen, and they all escape to the Eclipse cannon, which is hidden beneath a river just outside the gun headquarters. As they prepare to launch, Agent Stone calls Dr. Robotnik. Stone has started to doubt Gerald Robotnik's intentions. He thinks that this plan goes farther than just destroying the gun base. But Eggman, still enraptured in this idealized version of his grandfather, blows Agent Stone off. Agent Stone laments,
I already lost you once, I can't lose you again.
They launch the Eclipse cannon into space and abandons him on Earth. Tom says in the beginning of the movie, you've been through so much, Sonic, but it never changed who you were in here. Shadow the Hedgehog is a dark mirror to Sonic himself. He's also been through so much, but he did let it change who he was. Sonic has now lost one of the most important people in his life. And what does he do? Sonic the Hedgehog goes to his friends and he says, Knuckles, give me the Master Emerald. I need it to kick this motherfucker's ass. And Knuckles is like,
the Emerald must never be wielded for vengeance. We swore a sacred oath.
And Sonic says, I don't care. Tell me where it is. And Knuckles says,
part of our oath is to trust each other. And I must abide by that promise, even if you have chosen to break it.
So Knuckles tells him where the emerald is. It is with Wade Whipple. If you're curious why, watch the Knuckles TV show. Sonic goes, he gets the Master Emerald, and he becomes supersonic. Meanwhile, the Robotniks are aiming a laser down at the entire world. Gerald and Shadow have a final conversation. Shadow asks, "Do you think this is what Maria would have wanted?" And Gerald says, "It doesn't matter what Maria would have wanted. It matters what they deserve. Remember what they took from us." And we get the final piece of Shadow's backstory. As Gunn raids the military base in an attempt to take Shadow away, as they run through a room that is filled with canisters of Shadow's energy harvested by the scientists, one of the soldiers, using a gun powered by Shadow's chaos energy, raises it to the trio. Young Commander Walters says, "Those are children, you cannot do this," and he swipes the gun away right as the soldier fires, unfortunately firing directly into Shadow's energy canisters, and the canisters explode. When the rubble and fire clears, what we see is Maria's body. Shadow goes over, his one friend in this entire world, dead by his own energy. And we snap back to the present as Shadow's rage takes over and he begins to run faster and faster and faster, powering this Eclipse cannon. Ivo Robotnik, still up to this point, believes him and his grandfather are on the same side, is finally starting to see the cracks. Gerald Robotnik plans to destroy the world. Ivo Robotnik says, "Why? With this power, we can rule the world, and everyone will be forced to do what we say."
All your life you've been rejected by this world. You have nothing down there. No one who cares about you. But I have you now. We're family.
And Gerald turns to him and says, probably the worst thing Dr. Robotnik could ever hear.
"Oh, Ivo. You'll know Maria."
All he wanted was the familial approval that he's always craved. The thing that he has done everything for was just ripped away from him when he realized the one person in this entire world who had any blood connection to him didn't actually love him and just used him to get where he needed to go. As they look down, they see Supersonic approaching the space station. Boom! Right through. He gets Shadow right in the face and knocks him out the other side. And Shadow says it right to Sonic's face.
"Now you know my anger, the pain I've felt for 50 years. And you've made the same choice I did."
Sonic knocks him down to Earth, but Shadow, being Chaos incarnate himself, boom, knocks the Chaos Emeralds out of Sonic the Hedgehog. Both of them stare there at the Chaos Emeralds. They both run, they both run, they both run. Boom! They hit each other. They are both super powered. What proceeds next is one of the coolest fights ever. Marvel is quaking at how awesome this fight is. They are zipping each other around the planets. There is lava blowing up all over the place. In this moment of chaos, Ivo sees his opportunity and he says, "I cannot let this world be destroyed." So he goes after Gerald Robotnik and he says, "No, we're not gonna do this." They start using their technological suits to Shadow gets Sonic down to the ground and he starts gloating.
"Where are your friends? They tried to stop you, didn't they? But you came anyway. What kind of hero abandons his friends to pursue revenge? Abandons his family? And here I thought you cared for them. Especially the one, what's his name? Tom?"
Uppercuts Shadow to the fucking moon. Are you fucking kidding me? Shadow hits the moon, loses his superpowers. Sonic comes up to the moon, grabs him by the chest, and goes to deliver the final blow. And Shadow says, "Do it. All I want is revenge. I don't even care about my own life. Hit me right here." Right here. You never let your grief change who you were. In here.
This is not who I am.
He lets go of the powers. He lets go of Shadow. Shadow doesn't totally understand, and the two sit on the moon and have a discussion. Y'all, this discussion in theaters made me cry. I know that's dramatic. I know this is the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Shadow laments as he looks up to the stars, and he remembers the last time I sat under stars like this, I was with her. Sonic thinks of his own time with Longclaw, how even though she's gone, And that pain never goes away. Everything she taught him, all the love that she gave him, is still here. Shadow looks up as the sun rises over Earth, and he remembers Maria, and remembers.
The light shines, even though the star is gone.
Oh, that shit made me cry! The tears going down my face, and my makeup didn't get fucked up at all. Sonic remembers Tom's lessons. When you mess something up, it is your job to fix it, but you do not have to do it alone. So him and Shadow go up to each other and they fucking lock hands and go super at the same time as Live and Learn blast in the background. I'm getting chills right now just thinking about it, dude. Are you kidding? They fly off and then Jim Carrey is spanking himself. I think that we could have cut that in at a later point or just dropped it entirely. Whatever. We get back to the space action. Boom, they're destroying robots and shit, and they do their signature pose. They are contractually obligated to do the pose, and it's awesome every time. Right as Gerald Robotnik pushes Ivo off into the deep abyss of space, Tails and Knuckles coming through a ring to the rescue. They raise Ivo back up. Ivo still having one of the quills from Sonic, shanks his grandfather in the butt. Unfortunately for them, the arc is already ready to fire. So Sonic and Shadow jump in the way of the beam and stop it from hitting the Earth, while Robotnik, Tails, and Knuckles slowly steer it away.
Look what you did!
Unfortunately, the Eclipse Cannon's reactors are about to explode, and this destruction will make the Earth uninhabitable. So Ivo Robotnik, thinking about every misguided attempt at attention, every misguided attempt at love, it is his fault the world is about to be destroyed because he was manipulated by his grandfather, the one person he thought was going to give him approval and love. But then he remembers the one person who's always given him that approval, the one person who's always given him that unconditional love, no matter how many times he probably did not deserve it, Agent Stone. So Sonic and friends, they get out of there. Shadow goes out into space and begins to push the arc away as Ivo Robotnik uses the last of his technology to hold back the explosion as long as he can. Robotnik does his final live stream to the world where he confesses to Agent Stone, the one person who actually was always there for him, the one person who actually was always by his side, who actually cared for him, who actually loved him. And he says,
"If I can't rule the world, I might as well save it."
Because Stone is his world, bro. Robotnik gives one final goodbye to Agent Stone. And Shadow, in his final thoughts, thinks of Maria.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Sonic, now back on Earth, apologizes to his friends. And of course they forgive him because they are his friends. They are great friends. And great friends always forgive. And they go back to celebrate Sonic's birthday with Tom, who's still alive, mind you. Let's go. Biggest twist that everybody guessed because they wouldn't just kill Tom. And they live happy ever after. There's also some post-credit scenes. I'm not gonna spoil. You should go watch the movie if you want to know the post-credit scenes. I'll say it. I love Shadow the Hedgehog.
That's my son! That's my boy!
So now we have to ask ourselves, is this movie cool? Do I even have to answer? This movie's so fucking cool. This movie is so cool. It's cool. Is Sonic the Hedgehog cool now? Yeah, you bet your fucking ass. Yeah, and everybody should be rejoicing in that fact. Every single person who was ever ridiculed or made to feel ashamed for their love of Sonic growing up, rejoice now. Be like Sonic. Do not hold on to that anger and that revenge in the past. Even though Sonic the Hedgehog's cool now, don't feel anger because you felt ashamed in the past. Rejoice in the fact that Sonic is cool now and you get to enjoy that shit however you want. Sonic the Hedgehog's cool now. Also, to my friend who gave Sonic the Hedgehog 3 a 1.5 stars on Letterboxd, disgraceful. I'm just kidding. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and leave it a like. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you want to become a champion too. You'll get a pizza this big. And I'll see you in the next one.